Hello friends, it is Mrs. P. I am here to do my debt update. This is for the month of July. I have quite a few new subscribers and I am horrible about introducing who I am, what type of family I have, what journey we're on and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick intro. I don't have the cute intro that most people do, but let's just try this. I am a married mom of 3. My 2 boys, or our 2 boys, are adulting. Both of them live out of the home. Neither of them live in our hometown anymore. One is across the whole entire United States, and the other one is just a couple hours away. And then we have a daughter. She is going to be a sophomore this year. She's getting ready to turn 15, which blows my mind. There is quite a bit of distance between her brothers and her. We were done with the 2. And long story short, she was planned, but there was a pregnancy before her that was not planned. And we had, got over the shock, became excited, and then ended up losing the baby. So that was a whole devastating time of our lives. And that's when we decided, you know what, we do want to add another member of our family, or add to the family. And that's how we got our daughter. So she's a rainbow baby. Anyway, I am a mom. I'm a teacher. I'm a mom too, but I'm a teacher and a mom to hundreds of kids out there. But I work in the middle school, teach 8th grade. I am not paid in the summertime, so I have to save throughout the year to pay myself over the summer. I call that my summer funds. We are on a debt-free journey. We started out our debt journey with so many debts and so many credit cards and so many of those paying for loans and affirm loans and all that. We got sucked into it out of need, really, because we had not planned very well for things that we needed to pay for: Christmas, birthdays, car repairs, things like that. And so we got ourselves in quite a pickle. I started my channel in 2024, but we started our debt journey probably, I would say, December of 2022. That's when we hit rock bottom and we knew, we weren't making enough to pay all of our bills and all of our debt. So with that said, we have come a long way. This is not even this is where we started. I keep this just so that I can remind myself. It took 2 columns to fill out all of our debt. This was where we were the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, when we decided to start tackling the debt. And so we are now down all of these, down to these 3. Plus my student loan and plus our mortgage. But I'm not putting my mortgage on here anymore because those numbers overwhelm me. So we are working on our Bank of America card, which is where we transferred our Wells Fargo card. So at the end of June, we had changed from Wells Fargo to Bank of America, and our balance was $3,217.20. That is our last credit card, but then we have our 2 vehicle loans that we will be working on. My goal for right now is to get the credit card gone and then let the car and the truck kind of just work themselves out, because we also have, my oldest son is getting married in 2026. I have to save for summer, and I just want to be prepared for those things, so I'm not tempted to put money on a credit card. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So this is going to be our update for July. I know we're a few days into August, but a lot of our stuff doesn't process until the first of the month. So here we are. This is July 2025. This pen is not writing well. Let me try a different one. All right, so for Bank of America, as you saw, we started at $32.17.20, and that was after the transfer fees and all the things. We made, in July, we made $185.20 toward this debt. I had to get rid of that cents because it drives me crazy. And then because this is 0%, that 20 will be just on there every time. But now that I got rid of it, it will be gone. So our new balance is $3,032. And that is a difference of $185.20 because that is a 0% interest card. I will tell you that 2 years ago, we wouldn't have had the option to transfer one card to another and get a 0% offer because our credit, granted, we paid all of our stuff on time, but because our credit utilization was so high, our credit score was low. It was barely over 600 because we had so many debts. As we paid them off, we noticed. Now, I'll tell you, like, if you apply for something, a card or a credit somewhere, your credit is dinged like 20, 30 points very quickly. But it only creeps up a couple points at a time as you pay those off. I hate that, but that's how it is. But anyway, we've finally gotten ourselves into a position where we don't have a high credit utilization, and so we do get these offers. So there is hope. 2 years ago, they would have turned us down on everything. So I'm very happy. We've always had good credit with our bank. So like we can go in the bank and get credit like for things like if we had an emergency or whatever. But credit cards are a little bit different because they don't know you. All right, so anyway, that is our Bank of America card. Our car last month was at, this is my car, $7,906.69. I made a $500 payment, and that we brought the balance down to $7,429.11. I'm thinking because, well, I did pay this early, so a lot of it went to the principal, $477.58. So this is all that went to the principal. So we only lost, what is that, $22 in interest. So I'm hoping that next month's payment will bring it down below the $7,000 mark, because once it goes under $10,000, it seems like it goes really fast. We've paid cars off before, so I know how it kind of gets on a roll. So that is my car. I have a hair. My hair is falling out. Something terrible, guys. I think it has something to do with my thyroid. Sorry, I had to take a drink of coffee. I'm just like, got a scratch in my throat. I just got some blood work done, and my numbers are a little high. It's my thyroid medicine needs to be adjusted, and so I think that's why I'm having trouble with my eyes. I think that's why I'm having trouble with my skin, and my hair is falling out. I find it everywhere. It's awful. All right, so next is my husband's truck, and at the end of June, he owed $13,773.17. He made his regular payment of $470, and that brought the balance down to $13,349.38. And that was a difference of $423.79. So as you can see, both of our car payments, they're both, the interest rate's probably around 4%, I think, on both of them. Most of the money is going now to the principal instead of interest, which is nice. All right, so our total debt, just for like consumer debt, was $24,897.06. We paid $1,155.20 toward debt. And our new balance, oh, I haven't even done this. I have my draft off to the side, and I haven't even calculated any of it. All right, so let me do this. So 7,429.11, 13,349.38. All right, so we're at 23,810.49. Boy, that's a good number. That's exciting. That is exciting. We're going to get hit below 20,000 by the end of the year. So total that came off of our debt is $1,086.57. Let's just see how much we lost to interest. $68, which is not bad. So total that we've paid in the year 2025 so far, minus 23, 8, 10, 49, 9,000. Let me see, what was that? Yeah, okay. $9,338.83. So that's 7 months. We've paid $9,338 down in our debt. Let me just divide that by 7. That's pretty good. About $1,300 each month has come off of our debt. So if we kept that momentum for the next, 5 more months, we should be down another $6,000, almost $7,000. But once I get back to work, our Bank of America card is going to be coming down quicker because I will be getting, a paycheck, and I will have more money to delegate towards debt. Because in the summer, I do save money to put aside, but I don't save enough to have a full paycheck. I just have enough to get by, which is why, we have to kind of pinch pennies in the summer, and we're not doing our debt as much as we normally do. I know somebody mentioned in a comment the other day is to do my paycheck without the car payment coming out, because my car payment comes out of my paycheck, so I don't even see the money at all. And so that's $500 more. That would be my income. And so if I divided that into like 12 months, I should save more for the summer. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. I'll crunch some numbers and see, because I'm working on my September budget just to kind of get an idea of how much we're able to put towards debt, towards wedding, towards all the things. All right, so next is my student loans. They're broken up into 2. I have consolidated them because it was like a list of like 12 different loans. I have consolidated them. They do include 2 Parent Plus loans, and a lot of people have asked why I don't have my boys help pay the Parent Plus loans, and it's because they have their own student loans. The Parent Plus loans were not to help with their education. It was to help with their housing and living expenses. And my oldest son went to a private school, so it was super expensive, and it didn't have housing. And then my middle son his college career was right in the middle of COVID, and he switched majors, so he extended his college years by 1. And so he wasn't eligible for student loans that last year, and so I helped him out with a Parent Plus loan. I felt like as a parent, because I didn't help save for their education, and I'd always told them I would help them with it, that is just a promise I made to them, and I'll do the same with my daughter. And yes, they are making their own money, they're adulting just fine, but they do have their own student loans. And so the Parent Plus part that's on me. I feel like that's what I gave to them, and so I'm going to pay that back. So with that said, it is still broken up into 2 different loans because one's subsidized, one's unsubsidized. I can't even speak. One's subsidized, one's unsubsidized. Don't even know what that even means. But student loan number 1 last month was at $16,074.45. I made the regular payment of $98.06. And that, of course, with interest in student loans is outrageous. Brought it down to $16,051.27, which is a difference of $23.18. So out of that $98, only $23 went to the actual student loan. The rest went to interest. $65,513.04 is the second one. This one is the one that includes the parent loans. The regular payment is $399.76, and that brought the balance to $65,411.35. That's a difference of $101.69. So, just so that we can see the numbers, you know, in real time, and I don't have an extra line for this, but we did $81,587.49. And it's down to $81,462.62. So it's not changed much. That's unfortunate. I will be glad when these are gone. You know, a lot of people talk about the student loan forgiveness plans and all that stuff. And, you know, I am not one that thinks that anybody should have to pay for the loans that I took out for my education and for my boys' education. I'm completely okay with paying that. What does bother me is how much we lose to interest. If they could fix the interest on the student loans to where at least half of it goes toward the balance, that would make a huge difference, because, man, the interest is killing all of us. But anyway, that is what we signed up for when we got student loans. So anyway, that is that. And let me go ahead. I want to show you, just in case you didn't watch my video that I did yesterday, I want to show you, well, let me open that back up. So we are at $3,032 on my Bank of America card. I keep wanting to call it Wells Fargo because it was Wells Fargo forever. So if I want to track that, this challenge, or this 2000 Save 2025 and 2025, comes from Nita at the Almost Organized Owl, and it saves $2,025. So if I take that $3,032, take away the 2025, that leaves me with $1,007. So I also have this challenge, and I'll just make me a new little box that's $7. So as I make payments toward my debt, I will just track it here, because I'm not going to take out actual cash for the debt. I'm going to, and sometimes I'll have cash because of challenges that I finish or whatever, but I will put that in the bank and use prop money just to track it that way. And that to me will be like a visual, and I think that will help me stay motivated, because I will want to color in these as quickly as possible to get Bank of America out of our lives, which I have nothing against Bank of America or Wells Fargo, but they need to go. They are not welcome here anymore. All right, friends, thank you for watching my debt update. I appreciate all of your support. And I'm going to get off here because I have some Etsy orders to fill. Thank you guys for those, because a percentage of that is going to go to help pay off debt. So anyway, I'm going to go do that so I can get those mailed off today. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.